What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Bill and Will prevent Lee from strangling their granddaughter and save Luna's life. The Bold and the Beautiful reveals that Lee Finnegan's attempt to strangle Lee Spencer will be stopped by Bill and Will Spencer, who will save Luna Nozawa's life. Lee became quite angry after learning about Luna's actions on the night of Will's party. In reality, Lee only gave Luna another chance to commit crimes, despite her best efforts to give her another chance to change her life. After all that Luna had done to assist her, Lee was incensed at her for taking advantage of an inebriated Will. Because of this, Lee put her hands around Luna's neck and began choking her to death. As a result, Luna is now struggling and panicked under Lee's firm hold. Fans of BNB are aware that Will, Bill, and Katie Logan's lives would be much simpler if Luna were permanently gone. There may be a tiny part of them that wants to do nothing but watch as Lee permanently removes Luna from the map. But in the end, Will and Bill will move quickly, so they will separate Lee from Luna before she can put her granddaughter to death too soon. At this point, Will and his parents will feel as though Luna belongs in a prison cell, even though they want her to pay. Luna will catch her breath after this choking mayhem and respond appreciatively to the Spencer men's efforts to save her life. Luna will undoubtedly feel even more hopeful about a future with the guy she desires once Will and Bill come to her aid. The fact that Luna just took another pregnancy test in Remy Price's restroom should be noted, but he expelled her at Deke's insistence. Since the test is still in her bag, Luna hasn't seen the findings yet, but if it's positive, that stick might soon be useful and significant. The fact that Thomas Forrester is finally settled should be a relief to Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan. It appears like Thomas is prepared to put up with this reunion, even if he's still struggling to deal with Taylor Hayes' heartbreak, because he accepted Brooke's hug and acknowledged that he wanted Ridge to be happy. Hope Logan will probably speak with Brooke next and celebrate her mother's unexpected wedding announcement when she meets up with Electra Forrester at Forrester Creations. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke and Ridge will hope for a bright future together, but sooner or later, there will undoubtedly be more problems. Bill and Will step in. Lee explodes when Luna's fate is hinted at. Lee Finnegan is expected to keep strangling Luna Nozawa, according to The Bold and the Beautiful. But in the end, Will and Bill Spencer step in to help the young manipulator. The choking session of Lee Finnegan. Let's start with Lee, who recently learned that Will Spencer claimed Luna had attacked him the night she went for a walk. The doctor needed several minutes to make the connection. She pinned Luna to the wall after realizing what she had done to Will. Lee then began choking her niece and grandchild to death. Lee continued to lash out at the young manipulator, saying that she had risked everything to give her another chance. The empathy of Bill Spencer. Bill holds Lee accountable for giving Luna a second opportunity, although he was in a similar situation not too long ago. Bill is undoubtedly sympathetic to Lee's anger with Luna. When Lee begins strangling her granddaughter, Katie's mouth falls open. Bill appears to understand Lee's emotions, though, because he does. Test of Luna Nozawa's pregnancy. According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Will and Bill eventually step in to support Luna. This might simply be to prevent Lee from killing someone. But it might possibly be related to the pregnancy test Luna had in her purse. Luna had taken the pregnancy test after she left Remy Price and Deke's house, but there was not enough time to obtain the results. That was what Luna had planned to do when she arrived at Lee's house before she noticed everyone else there. Therefore, Luna might be able to blurt out, "baby," or something similar while Lee is choking her. Another scenario is that the pregnancy test falls out of Luna's handbag when she is being suffocated. I can only imagine Bill and Will stepping in to help Luna because she is pregnant. But since Luna has falsified DNA tests in the past, it wouldn't be shocking if she did the same with a pregnancy test. In the event that Luna's pregnancy test is positive, what will Bill, and Katie do? Could Luna steal a baby in the future, or is there really one? The lives of the Spencers, Forresters, Finnegans, and Logans intersect in ways that go beyond business and familial ties in the complex and soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. Nothing better encapsulates this than the most recent explosive twist, in which Lee Finnegan, overcome by anger, heartbreak, and betrayal, lashes out at her niece Luna Nozawa in a violent moment that almost ends tragically. Bill Spencer and his son Will Spencer intervene at the last second to save Luna, but also start a chain reaction of shifting allegiances, moral dilemmas, and startling revelations about justice, family, and love in Los Angeles. For weeks, Lee had been dealing with disappointment after learning of Luna's dubious choices, especially those related to Will Spencer's party, which should have been a straightforward evening of fun, but instead descended into a tangle of drunkenness, hazy boundaries, and emotional manipulation. In Lee's opinion, Luna had once again shown herself to be unworthy of the second chances she had been given, a young lady who seemed to constantly undermine the kindness shown to her by repeating the same damaging patterns. Lee, who prided herself on control, discipline, and the responsibility of family reputation, could not stand what she saw as Luna's exploitation of Will, who was incapable of taking care of himself. This indignation, compounded by years of disappointment and personal heartbreak, sent Lee into a vicious rage that, when she cornered Luna in the Forrester guest house and put her hands around her throat, turned her into a woman possessed, motivated more by the blinding rage of betrayal than by reason. Luna was terrified and gasping for air as she clawed at her aunt's wrists. Her eyes were wide with fear as she realized that this was not one of Lee's harsh lectures or cold punishments, but rather a real-life or death situation that only a few seconds away from turning into another warning about a family feud gone too far. Long-time followers were aware of the irony of it all. Lee, a doctor who had vowed to save lives, was now in danger of ending one, and her dishonesty became more obvious the more she pressed down on Luna's neck, accusing her of betrayal, selfishness, and shame. However, when Luna's vision became blurry and the oxygen in her lungs ran out, fate stepped in and sent Bill and Will Spencer to see the horrific spectacle. Known for his brutality in business and his fierceness in defending his family, Bill was briefly stunned and his steely calm broke when he witnessed Lee, a lady he previously held in the highest regard, trying to strangle the very granddaughter she was meant to love and protect. Bill sprang forward and tore Lee's hands from Luna's throat with such force that Lee staggered back, her eyes wild and unrepentant even as the spell of violence was broken. Will, younger but no less brave, yelled in terror, bringing his father to action. Coughing uncontrollably and gripping her throat, Luna fell to the ground, her thanks mixed with shock that she had been so close to death at the hands of someone who should have been her family. While Will hovered protectively, glaring at Lee with a mix of confusion and anger, unable to understand how an adult he had once trusted could attempt to kill someone he cared about, Bill squatted next to her, his usual tough demeanor replaced by an unfamiliar tenderness as he reassured her that she was safe. Instead of expressing regret, Lee redoubled her efforts, yelling that Luna was to blame, that she had degraded the family, taken advantage of Will, and wasted every opportunity to demonstrate that she was more than a cunning manipulator. Her words pierced not just Luna, who shuddered under the charges, but also Bill and Will, who were unable to deny that some of Lee's statements were true. Luna had committed mistakes, and her involvement in Will's drunken evening was, at best, ambiguous. As much as he sympathized with Lee's frustration, he could never support her actions because, as Lee was quick to remind her, no crime, mistake, or betrayal warranted murder, certainly not family against family. In that moment, Will grew up in a way that no parent ever wants to see their child forced to by facing the frailty of life and the savagery of human rage. Will was shivering with emotion when he spoke out, his little voice solid as he informed Lee that Luna did not deserve to die, regardless of what she had done. While trying to make sense of Lee's betrayal, the woman who had raised her was now viewed by Luna as an attempted murderer. The aftermath was tense and heartbreaking. Luna, after catching her breath, whispered her gratitude to Bill and Will, insisting that she would be gone without them. Luna's pregnancy test, which had been concealed in her purse and was a secret she had been too scared to reveal, now hung over the entire scene like a silent bomb waiting to explode, and just when it appeared like the dust was about to settle, another layer of drama threatened to start new fires. Did Lee know? Was she angry because she suspected Luna of being involved in another scandal that would tie her to the Spencers forever in ways that no one could control? Bill's glare sharpened on Lee as he assisted Luna to her feet and assured her of her safety. He quietly vowed that if she ever touched Luna again, he would ensure that she paid, regardless of her past or family connections. It was a pivotal moment, not only for Luna, who suddenly felt the consequences of her actions and the Spencer men's salvation, but also for Lee, whose job, reputation, and familial ties now teetered on the brink of disintegration as a result of allowing her rage to control her. The backlash would spread like wildfire across Los Angeles in the next days, with Brooke terrified that more controversy would engulf Forrester Creations and Katie Logan demanding answers from Bill about why he was defending Luna rather than supporting Lee Ridge. Unaware that another storm was building on the Spencer side of things, Hope Logan was getting ready to comfort her mother Brooke over Ridge's choices, while Thomas silently felt happy that his own redemption was no longer the main plot point. Luna felt thankful for Bill and Will, which gave her hope that she would be able to prove herself worthy of the life she wanted, that she might be able to win Will's forgiveness, and that she wouldn't have to fight this battle alone if her pregnancy test came back positive. For Bill, it was another opportunity to demonstrate that he was more than just the vicious businessman known as Dollar Bill. He was also a father, a guardian, and a guy who refused to allow violence to define his family. And it was a moment that would permanently change Will, a reminder that heroes are defined by the decisions they make when lives are on the line, not by their flawlessness. What could have been Luna's last chapter ultimately turned into a tale of survival, atonement, and the unbreakable bond between a father and son who decided to save a life rather than watch helplessly. Fans of The Bold and the Beautiful will discuss, analyze, and remember this as one of the most shocking and emotionally charged moments in the history of the show, where two courageous men and 5 seconds saved a tragedy that would have forever changed everything.